Yeah, I was just talking about the time website. I wasn't actually doing anything.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
I guess that's my problem. So.
All right, welcome to episode 19 of Goin Berserk. I'm Nathan. I'm not the host. I'm a guest, actually, so I'm going to stop talking now.
Well, I mean, I think you're a host now.
I guess so, but late.
If he's a host, I wasn't invited to the council session.
Well, here's the thing. Since I edit it, I'm the host.
Yeah, Paul's the host. I'm just here, but yeah.
But yes, if we go by just who's like actually putting in the effort afterwards, after we're done talking, I guess that would be me. But I mean,
I'm grateful for it.
We're all here to talk about terrible, terrible things that are about to happen in the birth of a new world or whatever the fuck happens.
I'm also just eager to talk because I realized I made a mistake in the last episode. I jumped way ahead to talk about Azin's gate problem. So before we even get there, there's an important fight that we should detail to some extent. I only have one note about it though. So yeah. Okay. What is it? Flings him into crowd, which is at the end. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Much happens before we get there. So someone gets thrown at a crowd of people. Who will it be?
Stay tuned. Write in your theories to ihavegoneberserk@gmail.com.
Who gets thrown into a crowd of thousands of onlookers? Yeah.
Anyways, Casca is the pillar is up. Casca is tied up and prepared. I guess she's been thrown up, tied up, and now she's about to be burned. Like that's kind of where we.
Yeah, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark poster type action is going on.
While Guts is still atop the tower fighting off the remnants of, everything. still fighting off everything. We get this kind of weird shit going on of what is going on with Casca's clothes being burned off. The darkness is overtaking the crowd or something.
Yeah, that's I mean, Mira just wanted to draw that ass, I guess. It doesn't actually happen.
Right, because she just goes
She's clothed again.
Afterwards.
I think I think it's just I don't know.
Just a theory.
What's just an excuse.
Or just maybe an anxiety device for the audience. Is she going to get burned? This could happen. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Or the visions that she's seeing, maybe. I have no basis for that, but it's
sure, because the next panel is her just kind of staring with mouth agape going, or whatever, watching it. Sure, maybe
so something like that, what she's seeing in the crowd / future, whatever. But yeah, we do see it a couple panels. She's fine still.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Well, maybe fine might be a.
She's in jeopardy, but
she's not on fire yet.
Yeah. You know what? In that case, I am also fine.
We're not on fire yet.
I have not been set ablaze yet. So
every time you think your life's bad.
Yeah.
By Ben's definition, most people I know in my life, actually everybody I know in my life personally, is fine.
You don't know someone actively on fire at all times. Just
no, not currently.
There's that guy.
Although I've lost touch with a lot of people from high school, so you never know, I suppose. You never know. Anyway, yes, she is in a bad way, and Guts is being held up by just kind of everything, just blobs of darkness or whatever, and we kind of see the beginnings of the crowd throwing their torches in the air, lots of cutaways to Guts trying to get to her to save her. There was a thing in the last chapter too where he was just saying like, "Oh God, not again! I can't save her again," or whatever, and because he's being held up or whatever. And sure enough, we get like a bunch of panels too of the pyre she's on starts being set on fire. Like it starts flaming up a little bit, and then we get Isidro out of nowhere just deciding he's gonna be a big old hero.
Dude, I love how he's scared. Like, it's such a good sequence. He's scared shitless because like it's not such a big drop.
Yeah, he's walking on this like little beam, like a plank or something off of where, I guess on top of the like what's that called again? The between like towers on a castle on the wall. There's a specific name for that.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. Is it Rampart?
Yes, so there's just like, they have like a broken beam or something there that I guess I didn't even notice, but like Jerome's like holding it steady on one end while he's like about to jump off and save her.
He has like a rope that looks not super secure.
Yeah. And it kind of isn't.
I love the panel, him saying, "I'm kind of getting used to this," as he's jumping, and it's like the close up of him like derping out.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But like also Isidro is just chill. Like he's doing like he doesn't need to do this shit, but like he's doing it. Good on him.
Well, in his mind,
I feel like
does.
since they got captured
guess.
on his watch at the cliff or whatever, he feels like he's got to make good and get back in the good books to steal Guts moves or whatever. So like to keep shadowing him, he needs to do something big here. Does he just like bungee but without bungee power all the way down?
Yes.
Or does he? Okay.
Yeah. So
that's it.
What he does is he jumps, he cuts the rope and says "now," and then they have a stone, the other side of the rope tied like a
counter
like a pulley, to pull them back up, and that's kind of how.
So he never like. Wouldn't he have a horrible yank at the bottom?
Yeah, that's all right. That is drawn there.
No. There is a he gets wrenched, but like that's a thing that many people forget about. Kids bounce. You can.
Oh right.
He's little. You can just.
They're made
also,
of rubber.
they have 9 lives, so 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's
fine.
how it goes. Curiosity killed the kid.
Yeah,
I thought he'd kind of like quickly rappel down it or something, like walk
just
on the
jumps.
wall of the wall, but he just jumps.
He jumps. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He just goes.
Well, I like Casca, so I'm glad he does this, and he saves her from being burned.
It's actually a pretty decent plan too.
Yeah.
With, like the counterweight just shooting them back up real quick.
I'm just surprised. Like Nina is the one pushing the weight off. I'm shocked that she didn't fuck it up.
Bail on that, or fuck it up somehow. It's just like, I don't know. Like this rock's pretty heavy. I might hurt myself.
There's still time to get out of this. Maybe if I just cut this rope, like fuck you, Nina.
Some horrible decision. Yeah, but Lucy's not there this time to help, right? Like I don't.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she's on her way to help later. But yeah. Okay.
Mosca seeing this is like not happy about
Thou
this.
shalt not.
Yeah.
So he just flies in, and there's this like image that just reminds me of those old timey like scenes or whatever. Like I think North by Northwest does a plane coming at like some group of people or like a dude or something while he's running away, and the camera's like on the ground looking up while the plane's kind of swooping in to try to like.
Cary Grant is definitely running from a plane at one point, so there's just like angel swoop happening.
It's like that, that like type of drawing or whatever with the weird. I guess does he have claws or is that his hand just like giant?
His hand is
I
just
never noticed.
giant.
Okay.
Well, his hand is kind of like the weird, almost robot stoic stone face. Like his hands are in that same style right now. Like they're just blocky and squarish.
You cannot tell me this is a man. This is a golem that has been brought to life out of stone and gold.
No, how pronounced his bones are in his hand is, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah.
If he hadn't been stung earlier, this whole time it's just like, oh, that fits perfectly. He was always harboring evil, you know?
And I wish I would have, it's one of those things I wish I would have paid attention. I don't know if we've seen his hands. I guess we have, but maybe he's wearing gloves.
Well, he's usually holding the book.
Well, he was holding his book to smash that guy. So,
I just can't think of what his hands
really
look like.
Seen. Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess we didn't really get into like his nose is so flat because he smashes his face on the ground, like in servitude or whatever, like as like prostrating himself. Baff, baff, baff.
Yeah, we bopped over that. We learned that is it 1,000 times a day or 100
in the morning or something, and then at night.
And we see like because he goes, if I remember right, he goes from a standing position, slams on his knees, like doesn't just drop. He like fucking pile drives the floor, and then with as much force like slams his upper body and face against the ground, and like. We get a thing about like he can't run because like his knees are so fucked from doing this.
Oh,
like that's why his face looks like it does. I guess the idea of like his face became hardened over time or something. But yeah, he's just smashing himself on the ground.
Yeah, so like it's like scar tissue or something. Like he's just this massive healed wounds that he inflicts upon himself. Maybe I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's
like cauliflower ears. Yeah,
it's
a little bit.
It's just kind of anime shit.
Yeah.
Guts charging through the demons here is
yes.
It's a highlight. The sword, like the demon blobs, like bleeding off of the edge as he pushes through. Oh, and then right into fucking Mosgus, like just right through his chest.
Yeah,
God, so
I really
cool.
like. And like the way they brought back the like maybe you aren't a shadow on the water, but instead of fish that breaches the water's surface as he's breaking through the darkness and killing this dude. What you think is killing this dude, or whatever. Super fucking dope. Yeah,
I wish it was a full spread, but on the page, I guess it's after the Bestial Priest Part 1 like chapter page. At the top, it's like Guts and Mogus in the air, and like Mogus has his wings, whatever. Like he's a white blur, and Guts is like black, and there's like the demon stuff still like bleeding off of him. And it's and that's when all the crowd below starts being like, "There's some black thing killed our savior."
Yeah, it was one of those moments of like, is Guts the demon?
Are we the baddies
in this? Yeah,
but I hate Mosgus, so I was more dismayed that the crowd is like rooting for the wrong thing. But it's like, oh, that looks like a religion I understand. He's got big white wings, so that guy's the good guy. And it's like, nah, all right, like no, but in a way for their fates maybe, because there is this whole like, what if we just let the branded ones die? Would all these spirits go away? Kind of thing. Maybe this wouldn't happen. But,
I mean, hey, I like Guts, and he looks like a demon here in like every panel he's in.
Yeah,
the full page of him when there's like steam and smoke coming off of him, and like he's just fucking demonic as hell.
Well, he accentuates like the one eye just looking super insane, like just this white blur or whatever. Yeah, when he's very angry. He looks, he looks fearsome.
The panel of them like, it's a demon, a black demon defeated the angel, and Guts is like just wavy lines, and his eye is a white glowing crack.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's our demon, so we're rooting for him. I don't know.
Yeah. We also get that important thing that Guts notices, like, I thought I caught a glimpse of like, we see like our eggy boy, but he's kind of translucent, and we see the little fetus inside
like a
of
fetus
the little baby
thing
that he had swallowed is like in the, I don't know, gestational fetal position.
Guts must have the best eyesight in the world to be able to see that.
When did
shit.
he see that? Like what?
Going supersonic speed through darkness.
While fighting, it's just like I thought I noticed something interesting over there. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There was a birthmark on that dude. That, like, what the fuck are you talking about? How did you see this?
I mean, when you're fighting demons at 360-degree angles, you got to have that peripheral vision on.
Battle awareness. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I also really like that we get another Isidro saves the day here, where Guts looks over and one of the fucking little shitters is going out to grab Casca, and he just pulls her down out of reach again, or whatever. I just really like that Isidro's like stepped up in just a huge way, because I think this is where I started liking Isidro more.
Yeah, I kind of said like he grew on me over the course of this arc. This was where I was like on board with him. Like the rock throwing is pretty great. But I think I was still frustrated with how Puck and him handled the alerting everybody, like getting the cavalry on board thing. This was like, okay, that was just a bold move, and he saved Casca from burning. It wasn't actually who I thought would save her from being burned, so hooray.
And then he saved her again, and not only that, he flips off the angel and says, "You think I'm gonna let that happen again, fucker?" Basically, like,
Dude, I
like,
love
yeah,
the little.
all right.
I love the little detail. I didn't notice this on the first go through, but I noticed at the bottom when he's flipping off the little shitbag, he has a big goose egg on his head, and up on the top panel you can see he wrenches Casca down, and her head like destroys his forehead, like her skull just beams.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Because I was like, where the hell did this come from?
What else I just noticed that I'm not so cool with is in that battle where he's yelling, he says, "This is my piece."
This is my piece. Yeah.
Which is like,
I mean, he's still a little shit. Like he's a little.
Yeah. No.
Oh, we never
Mira
talked
being a
about the
little shit.
boner scene with Isidro and Naked Nina. How did we skip that? Anyway, sorry. It would have been episodes ago. Yeah.
You know
we
why
had
we
to skip it, otherwise it would have been a whole episode worth of discussion.
Yeah.
Now we get whatever the fuck Mosgus turns into.
Yes, we get his like final transformation, if we want to call it that.
Yeah.
Like fucked up the thing. Or
With
whatever
like
the hell else.
fist wing hands. Like I think it was something
his
about
wings
those
are
were
fists.
too silly.
It's
Got
just so
mega
weird.
fists.
Well, if you look at it, it still has like feather patterns, but the feathers are like curled.
Or scales or something.
Yeah, but like, they look stony. Look, the religion thing is whatever, but I just, for some reason, I'm a big fan of just the idea of this villain. Like, I love that he resurrects or changes form or whatever, and he leads with "swift is heaven's vengeance." Like, this is fucking good in a thing. "In the name of heaven, I shall deliver punishment unto thee." Like,
And kind of like Wild
dig
or
it.
whatever, he calls out his moves as he's doing them, which I always
In the name
kind
of the
enjoy.
moon, I'll punish you. It's basically that energy.
oh man, a Mosgus Sailor Moon transformation sequence, doing the little like twirl around. Yeah.
Evans, vengeance, fury, just spinning around, turning into this monster.
I think it is like God Breath and like God Thousand Punch something. Like there's it's fun, but I don't know. This is not my favorite Miura monster design. He's killed it before though, so he gets infinite passes. But
It's not great.
This is 100% a Bayonetta enemy or something. Like, I know I've seen this somewhere before, and I can't picture where.
Okay.
He ends the chapter by saying, "Come hither, great strength. Come hither, superpower." Just such a dumb phrase.
Yeah, like for how much I wanted Mosgus to get his and like them to fight, like I was kind of like, he looks like that. All right, at least he's like got armor all over the place, and that's like a perplexing battle. you know.
He looks like shitty Colossus. Like, or like the Thing with like.
It has the Thing rock pattern sort of thing, except it's these scales instead of.
They're feathers. They're like hardened feathers.
Yeah.
But I think because of all that Thing stuff, he was like orange in my head as he's doing all this.
Same.
Yeah.
Like he's like a weird orangish color, and I'm just
why is he orange? It's like, well, maybe it's dragon scales or something. Like I couldn't rationalize it because it probably would be better if he wasn't. But if he was like all white feathers, he just looked like a giant goose or something. I don't know. It's not my favorite. But he's plated everywhere. You can't stab him easy. So Guts has to figure this out.
Kind of looks like a, now that I'm looking at the double spread of him saying God Thousand Fist Cannon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. I could see him like being a fucked up 1940s like tire mascot. I just made of rubber.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Michelin something.
Yeah, where all that shit looked like horrifying.
Yeah. Like mall Santas. This is basically the mall Santa for like religion, for Catholicism.
Sit on Moses' lap, kids.
I do like the smack talk Guts is throwing at him though during this, like time to shut up your sermons or whatever. Like no more from you. I'm sick of your sermon or something.
Dude, the whole thing, like, I mean, there's so much of it from Guts about like. It's not here. I don't know how much later it is in the volume, but him being like, "Tell your God to leave me the hell alone." Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Iconic line.
Yeah, that's really good shit for sure. This fight is. I'm gonna say it. It's not interesting either, because if you've seen any other media, you know that there's going to be like a single area he can hit, and then he does, and that's how he wins. Like that's how the fight ends.
I think I like the bit though where he stabs him like in the mouth, and that doesn't work.
Oh,
it's kind of badass on Mozgus to just bite the sword and say like, "I'm gonna break this" or whatever.
Well, because it's a Guts move, right? Guts
literally he has bitten the sword. So to have that turned on him, I was just like, oh, this has got to be the weak spot, right? I mean, this guy talks all the time. And then that is not it. And he's gonna do a fire breath or something to like screw up his sword, right? So he has to figure something else out.
And then Mose hits him with the fire and shit. Mm-hmm. Woven in between this fight is where Nina decides to run off. By the way,
this is
I
the part
alluded to this way
Nathan
too
was
early.
talking about. Yeah.
I love that she's like thinking of running away, and I guess it's not like it's afterwards. Isindro's like, "You stupid! Like we were fine here. Like this isn't the time to run off because like what do you think's gonna happen? They're gonna notice one alone."
There's these dark blob monsters everywhere else. Like this is there's like, no good move here really for her, but she's still just so can I chicken out here? Is that no? Oh.
Also, her running off made her the easy target for the two lumberjack like angel dudes to come down and like pincer grip her with their saws or whatever. Like if she hadn't, they were kind of waiting for an opening for like a few pages now. They've been kind of just chilling out over top of them, like circling or something. And as soon as she starts running out, they like descend on her and they're about to chomp her in half. And that's how she falls off the thing.
She got like maybe 2 meters before they immediately singled her out. Yeah. Then she falls.
That's where she falls. Yeah. Where like Lusa will eventually, they'll meet up down there, but that's how she gets down there. But this is the part you were talking about Puck having his big
flashbang moment.
Like,
okay,
Puck Spark or whatever.
I think it is Spark. You're right.
Yeah.
But he doesn't turn into a chestnut, and he fully does it. So helpful.
I mean, it's a cool moment where he disorients them enough for Isindro to like one shot them with rocks or something, like bludgeon them.
Yeah, dude. He tosses. I mean, we don't even see if it's. I guess it. Yeah, looking at it's hard to see. On the bottom of page 62, where he's hucking both rocks, we could see he had a rock in each hand. He fucking. Yeah. I just didn't, like. Both, he's ambidextrous or some shit, because he throws
yeah, he's
both
a switch, like he can pitch both ways. It's crazy. So yeah,
and he throws it at both of the in the eye.
Yeah, dude,
what the fuck?
It's good. It's good shit.
Did they only each have one remaining eye? So this is debilitating.
They both have like one. I assume the other eye is like fine as far as function goes, but they're like super squinty. It's like almost closed. But yeah,
well, it's because they split, right? Isn't that what happened? It was like the one dude that split into two parts or something.
Or were they conjoined? Is that their...
Because they each have like an eye missing on the side where they would have split.
That makes sense. Something. I mean, they each had some sort of debilitating issue that was making society hate them or whatever. So
they do both get smacked in their good eye, though.
Yes. Yeah. The part is cool, but then it's funny because you think they're dead because they fly into like
the wall,
the rampart or whatever. It's like, okay, they're done. And then you just get a panel of Jerome slicing their heads off. It's like, okay, now they're done.
They were
just
too
to
dangerous.
Make sure.
They were too dangerous to be left in one piece.
Oh yeah. That's right. He actually says it.
Little double tap.
Yeah. Yeah. This Monska's fight goes on too long for me.
It's a bit long for how
boring it kind of is.
Yeah. I feel the character warrants a big fight though. Like, he's been such a big part of this story and everything. But yeah, I think it's really just the mechanics of how goofy he looks and how it goes in that respect.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just like in his chest or something. There's like a weird cavity or something near his heart.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's, I'm looking, I mean, I just happen to be on 73 for anyone following along. There's like, he has the little, I guess it's the symbol that they've had, like he had on his staff. They've had on like their staves and maybe on his book. It's like the little,
it's the Holy See crest
with
or
like
something.
With like the, kind of looks like the medical thing, whatever.
It's like a bird flying out of like a weird almost DNA. Like
spiral.
Oh, sure, like the snake spiraling up the staff kind of thing.
That's like right below like his neck. I don't know what that would be called.
Oh, sure. Like no, you're right. That's something? Not covered by like feathers or something.
So I think that's the weak spot. It's hard when Guts is actually noticing the weak spot. It's hard to see it. Honestly.
Or like where it is. It's just like a close up of this weird kind of orifice or whatever. It's like, okay, but what? Yeah. And then he gets him. Like he gets him there.
We get Guts having some fucking words of wisdom that many young men and I suppose young women should take to heart today. It's a bit of a epidemic.
God pressure. Pressure.
No. It's even more important when Guts says tens of thousands of people shouldn't cling to just one woman.
You're gonna get canceled for that.
Twitch simps, get out of here.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. Those Kardashians, you know.
I like Amaranth, all right?
Okay. It's just such a specific thing that you could use to call out. It's just funny to me.
Chastisement. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, he has a good, like, every last one of them when the fire's under their own ass. All any of them do is bow down.
Yeah, Guts is pretty disappointed in these sheep out there or whatever.
Sheeple,
Especially because of the way he was brought up. Is like he had to fight for literally everything, and these people are just like, "Oh no, like save me, God," or whatever. It's like, what are you doing? Swing your sword 1,000 times. That's how you live.
I mean, instead of waiting on some mighty miracle, you should worry about your own body. Yeah, you know,
That's
do shit yourself.
I was
This is
kinda,
also where he sees the thing,
Yeah.
as you said before.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
The break. Yeah.
Oh, the baby, like, in the behelit? Or no?
No.
The
The
weak spot?
break in the armor. Yeah, specifically.
Okay. Sorry,
'Cause
I was trying to think of a, like, comparison point between Guts and the nobody guy, like the egg guy, because they were both, like, born in a ditch, essentially, or on a battlefield, like, in really terrible circumstances.
Yeah.
But I guess the difference with Guts is he was found by somebody. Like,
No.
even though he was an abusive, like...
Currents of causality. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Sorry.
How did you
I
forget
forgot
about the
those.
currents?
I always forget about the currents. I'm not a fatalist or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, neither is Guts, obviously.
No, he's fighting against it. It's the heroic struggle. But
He's the fish that breaches the water, not just a
he
reflection.
He sure is.
And then we
Yeah.
we get to the reveal. A little drum roll, please. Someone gets thrown into the crowd.
Yeah,
We're
it's
there.
Mongus. He does
Dude,
like
it's so cool.
with his dying god breath or whatever, he's gonna burn him anyway, but then he gets flipped over, and I was just like, oh no, this giant flaming angel corpse or whatever is
Yeah.
gonna hit all those people, but Guts doesn't care.
Or like he was
So-
gonna explode or something, but he's
Yeah.
just on fire. But it seems like he was gonna detonate.
Man, the lead up to it's so cool though. So he doesn't notice really like a chink in the armor necessarily. He notices that he like cut a little bit in him or whatever. Fills
Yeah.
it with bombs
Yeah.
to blow him up and disorient him, and then just like hits him with like 1,000 cuts to basically like throw him off balance.
He also
enough.
spikes him in the eye with like a throwing knife or something, which I was
Yeah,
like, yeah. Which also
whole
made me
part
think, like,
is
is he
super
not
cool.
a robot? Because it looks like it's shattered, like glass. His eye.
You're
It was
right,
like,
actually.
what is up
Yeah.
with Mosgus? But oh well. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it's anyways, yes, he breaks through the armor enough that he can stab right through his chest, and that's when Mosgus is like does the predator laugh and like
Yeah.
the nuke is about to go off essentially.
It's like, well, I'm gonna like, I guess I'm dying, but I'm gonna bring him with me or whatever, and tries to
Right.
explode. But yeah. But him lighting on fire actually helps a handful of people in this crowd. But this crowd, like, tens of thousands of people die here. Like, it's just
They
slime.
kind of deserve it though, right? Like I'm sorry, but fuck them.
Little bit. I mean, there's the gate betrayal I talked about with the Zan, and like, oh, these people are just shitty. And then
Also
also
causality.
they're, yeah,
Can we
also the
remember
causality.
the causality?
Please
This had
think
to
of
happen.
the causality. There are two moments that I love. The one is the line I mentioned earlier and got completely wrong, where Guts is like, "If you see God, you tell him this. Leave me the hell alone."
Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
Doesn't he say something also like, "Why don't you go meet your God you love so much," or something like that?
He says, "I'll pass. It might be your time to meet the God you love so much, but it ain't mine. Fly your own ass to heaven." And then he hucks him off the building.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking good, dude. And
Fly
then the
your
second
own ass
moment,
to heaven.
the second moment, we get all of the people just staring, and their eyes are just—it's such a weird, kind of a wonky panel. They're all just.
I feel
staring.
it's like, oh no, our faith just died. Like,
In front of our
And then
eyes.
it's-
Yeah.
And then it's top tier because there's a little kid and he says, "Mother, the angel died." And then the next panel is just demons around them. It's just a 2-page spread of them surrounded by demon bullshit.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
So
good.
good.
Sure.
The angel died.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
love
pretty
it.
good actually.
No, it definitely is that, like, maybe they did doom all these people, but like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
They were, you know, plugged into the machine or whatever. They weren't thinking for themselves at all. So yeah,
They should have built an ark. The flood
Yeah.
came. Yeah.
darn, or just leave. I'm
The
not
currents
sure.
of causality have shown up. And
Yeah.
ate all of them?
Just ate 'em all.
turned them into monsters?
Yeah.
We start seeing skeletons and the bone things more and more, and there's a whole in that splash page of everyone getting like eaten. There's just people crying out or whatever, as it's happening. So
yeah,
I guess this is echoing our thousands of the Band of the Hawk people dying, but I'm assuming it's more people. They're just
this looks like way more people.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's like crowds, like there's just heads everywhere.
Yeah,
but that's actually been
what determines what happens to them. How some of them turn, some of them I think just get actually eaten and die. Some of them are skeletons, like just straight up.
Just
after
dice roll, I guess. Causality. It's causality. It's
the
fate of their life.
I forgot.
You forgot about the causality.
Well, like earlier there was the moment where Casca gets swallowed up by the things too, but like Puck says he can still feel her presence or whatever. Like they don't have to burn you with acid apparently. Like it's sort of weird. But they can choose to do it. Well, yeah.
Casca's also a special girl.
She's got all that causality going on to keep her safe. So
that's a thing we haven't mentioned, I think, or referenced, but it has been like throughout this entire deal with like the blobby demon things where it's like they're talking, like we get the souls within them or something, being like, God damn you, I'm hungry. Hot.
Yeah.
Like in this part.
Part, but even like when we first see them, like they're saying like there's little call out things that we haven't seen before. And I mean I'm guessing here we don't get like a hard answer, but
I mean, we've seen it from like pseudos and apostles and stuff, but yeah, it is a little weird to see the indiscriminate black blob ghost like darkness sort of things talking.
Yeah, like sort of a.
Oh, I guess that one said sacrifice at the end of that one arc when Guts had one arm. Like, well, he has one arm, but when he's in the cage with the stalks on or whatever, just like sacrifice in the desert. So,
yeah.
But just like because this definitely. It's like a blob of consciousness or something, and we do get.
Yeah.
Is it Skull Knight? We didn't mention it, but I think it's Skull Knight says like this specific type of demon thing is like based on the thoughts and will of like the people here. He says something about it.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That did for me was make me think of the Ghostbusters 2 slime or whatever. Like, it's just like all the evil emotions from this area or something. But it was like, oh, it's got to be just thousands and thousands of people have been killed here in awful ways.
Like all the, and like the religious zeal, like calling for death.
Yeah,
and
plague victims, like
it's just
Inquisition
accumulation
victims.
of everything. So... Just that sort of idea.
I guess I always forget, like, that's actually the theme of just how all the demon stuff happens. It's just intense emotion of every type or whatever, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I always like these pages, too, because maybe, like, I'm weird for doing this, but, like, after I read it or whatever, I just take a moment and kind of like visualize in my head if this was like a thing I was watching and just like a bunch of screams and these like words coming out from like out of nowhere, just like echoes or something. I don't know. I just like to set the scene for weird set piece things like that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's a huge scale set piece stuff. Like it's just like if you were to make a movie, this would be impossibly expensive. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Helm's Deep, but everybody loses. But yeah. It's like no.
The way Helm's Deep would have actually like
swallowed
ended.
by darkness blobs. Nobody wins.
Exactly. Yeah.
We get your gate moment. They're not. Yes. They're not in. Shut the gate.
Yes, as in not being stoked. What have they done? Yeah. Feeling betrayed by humanity again or whatever.
Yeah, him saying not again. Dude, just give up.
But like, like kind of fuck those people out there. Also fuck the people in there. Like, Azan, just leave.
And then we get right back to Nina and her bullshit. It's a fingernail all over again. Like she landed.
She like sprains her ankle and she's like crying about
she's like,
it. Or
it
something.
hurt somebody. I wonder if it's broken.
Yeah. We do get like kind of a hilarious moment though, where she reaches out for help with to people, and it's just like a stampede of people running away in fear that are about to trample her to death or whatever.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. And then of course in the crowd, Lusa is just
manages to tackle her and out of the stampede path.
Saves her just again. Yeah.
God.
I
imagine having your own personal Deus Ex Machina.
Dude, she is infuriating how much she helps this character I wish would just fucking die. I guess like I'll ask you, does Nina come back at some point? Like, is she part of the story still?
I mean, once again, like my memory is hazy, but like I don't remember her being back. I don't think so.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
But it's hazy, admittedly.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe she fucking gets impaled at some point, and I just read on and was happy about it.
Sure. I guess that's kind of like one of the reasons why you were stoked to like do this also, is the reread you might like remember or maybe catch something that you missed before.
Yeah, there's
or whatever.
It's so weird because maybe it's just been that long and just how I read it the first time. Because as I mentioned, the first time going through this, like I was hauling ass. I was going through way faster than I should have to like properly retain information. I needed to know. I needed the answers. And
sure.
Maybe partially as a result of that, I'm sure like there is so much. Like I remember the shit with Mosgus and all of that. I forgot about the egg. That's a pretty big thing. So
sure, yeah. Yeah, no. And like looking now too, I mean, even now when I've read it and then usually looked it over again quickly while reading it to like look at the pictures more, when we're doing the talks here, I still notice new things that I missed, even though I looked at it twice recently.
There's just so much.
There's too much.
It's just wild. And like, and especially like maybe that's when like for me, before I reread this, trying to remember from the first time, like only so much of it can stick in your mind if you're, constantly taking in a bunch of other media and stuff. So,
yeah,
I remembered the fights. Like, I remember a lot of the fight sequences, but I didn't remember the other shit. And now, I don't care as much about the fight sequences necessarily. I like the other shit. So, yeah.
Sure.
Is Nathan just dead?
Yeah, might be.
Okay.
If he's able to come back, we'll do like a resync or whatever, but you and I will just keep going.
Okay.
I think his internet just cut out, so
that's causality, baby.
That's causality. For like anybody wondering why does Nathan no longer have anything to say, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Especially for his giant breaking down the door part with Azan that he was looking forward to talking about.
The gate stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, yes, Lusa saves her ass twice here, really. First from the crowd, and then she realizes some real bad shit's about to go down and hides her in a barrel.
Yeah. Top tier. She puts like a brick on top or whatever. Like she puts the thing on.
Yeah. And this is where we get kind of like a moment where we see like Lusa doesn't necessarily really even like Nina. Like, she likes her, obviously, but it's more that she feels a duty, like she's able to protect her, so she's going to, not necessarily that, like, I don't know. We get a little bit more here where she even says, like, you really are just kind of like a fucking little baby bitch. Dude. Really. but be the best baby bitch you can, and don't fucking die while I'm trying to save you. Like, this is essentially what she's doing here.
This is, I think, my most infuriating part for Nina.
Yeah.
She's getting an out. She doesn't have to do fucking anything. She's in the barrel. And then she still has the audacity to be like, I can't be alone. I'm scared. This is impossible. And that's when, Lusa like conks her with the barrel lid. And she's like, what, are you a baby? And her face is just like so done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I just can't. I can understand wanting to run away, but like, you're a coward. This is the dream. Just stay in the barrel, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to do anything or whatever.
And it's still like, too much. Ugh.
Yeah. I guess it is. Okay. I hate that I'm going to somewhat stick up for Nina. I understand you would rather die with somebody you're close to than like perhaps survive in a dark barrel but the world ends around you. Like, I get it, kind of.
Yeah.
That situation is like way scarier, but it's another one of those things where like Lucas is about to die saving her stupid ass, and she still might like kill herself because she's a coward. That's what's infuriating.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And it ends with like the ominous, like she puts the thing on the barrel. We think, okay, Nina's like safe in here. And then there's just the panel of like the darkness has broken the gates and is like, she's like standing there alone with it like coming
blobs
through.
In the distance.
And like, the thing is that I know the answer now because we've read through the whole thing. I didn't reading this. I'm like, is she a major enough character that she lives? Or is this like where she dies right here? Because it could go either way for her here. But yeah, I also really like the fact that Moskos's body is like a little bonfire that a bunch of people are like saving themselves
praying around it. Man, so much good shit between Guts. Well, I guess just Guts and then like Farnese's view of him here. Like,
yeah,
I just love they noticed the fire thing. Scorpio or whatever the hell his name is notices it, and then Guts just like drops the sticks. He's like, whoever doesn't want to die, pick him up. And then Isidro is just like, Shah. Jerome's like, what the hell? Like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, him and Puck just like, yeah, we're doing it. Guts. It's Guts time.
Yeah.
But then the stuff about like Farnese just, I don't know. I really like her arc. As much as I joke about Farnese, like her arc is just super cool. Like her realizing, and this is like the accumulation of that, of like, she's been praying and doing all this stuff, and like no one else can do anything else but like cling to something to survive. And like Guts is just like, we're gonna survive. Like he's not clinging, he's just doing. And I don't know. I love that. It's such a cool thing.
Yeah, no, it's super, super cool. I love this whole part too of everything's gone real bad. And Guts is just like, nah, it'll be fine. We're just going to fight forever until they're gone.
Dude, yeah. I just love, like, it's so good having people around to like experience Guts bullshit. Like, what's the plan? We just don't die. Like, it's that easy.
Like, literally, it's like, how are we going to survive? Oh, we're going to survive. That's how.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, you psycho?
It's so good. Oh, man.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. Especially because there's been like this whole arc too of he was her main enemy, her white whale, right? That she's been hunting for years, really. And now here, not only is like, are they not fighting, but she's relying so heavily on him to survive, and she's like even perplexed, like, how does he just speak of surviving like it's just a matter of course? Like how it's just gonna happen or whatever. And it just sets up this is a trope I love. Just like, we're gonna fight until sunlight, until morning or whatever. Fight throughout the whole night. It's just super cool. Yeah, it's just a super cool thing. Nathan's back.
It might have been a scheduled outage. I don't know how long I'll be here, but hey.
Okay. We did a quick rundown. To catch you up or whatever. The doors have broken down, or the doors are breaking down, and they locked everybody out, and Azen is not cool with it. And we were like, Matt, I'm a little sad because this is a part that you wanted to talk about.
I kind of brought it up too early, but yeah, it was just Azen's heroism or whatever, and dismay at humanity kind of failing him, and his big heart or whatever
is what we said.
Yeah. Because what was it that happened before? It was like he was protecting an old man from people that were just kind of, no, get out of our way, we're royal knights or something. And he was like, dude, there's an old person here, like, get out of the way or something.
Yeah. And he like fought them all, like,
he fought a lot of dudes. Like, I don't know if he literally fought 100 people, but he's in that kind of bravery camp or whatever. So I was worried about his situation here.
The 100-man club. It's like the Mile High Club, only way cooler. And actually happens.
Way better.
Actually happens.
And then we were talking about Nina. It's like, oh, I sprained my ankle. I get saved twice, like right away here from
I don't want to be in a barrel.
Saving her. Yeah, I don't want to be in a barrel. Oh, he's gone again.
No, I missed some of that, but yes, okay, the barrel situation. I'm gonna have to listen more than talk for a bit here. But okay.
No, that's fine. We were just talking about Nina and how she gets saved yet again, and we kind of get like this cliffhanger of, is Lusa gonna die here? Because the last thing we see of her is her basically yelling at Nina, just like, be the best baby bitch you can be and just shut the fuck up and hide. And then the goo comes through, and that she just like looks at it.
She's facing just a wall of slime or whatever as we've cut to elsewhere. Yeah.
And then the last thing we were saying is that I really like the whole, like, we're gonna fight until dawn breaks or whatever. That I mean, it's just such a cool trope. And we were talking about how Farnese with Guts and their whole kind of like, how is he just so sure we're gonna survive or whatever? And he's like, because we're just gonna survive. Like, we're just gonna fight until it's okay.
That and her like coming to sort of like coming around to what Guts has been preaching about, like, why are people praying when you could just do shit yourself,
when you can fight? And
that actually comes to a head when Farnese is like, oh Lord, and like Guts is like, don't pray. If you're praying, your hands are closed. Like, what's that you're holding? And then she like grabs the torch.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
so good. I love that shit.
Yep. It's really good. I don't know if you had anything to add for that part, but that's where you came back in, is with that discussion. About them noticing that the fire keeps them at bay, and that's what
I think it's just, again, big Nina fan, her line about like, I'm scared, but it means I want to live is kind of her mantra or whatever. Something about that though rang in a weird way where it's like, like if you want to preserve yourself, it means something, you know?
Yeah. No, I get it too, for sure.
Yeah. So yes, she has to be the best coward she can in that barrel. And hope it works out. So, yeah. But okay, back up to the. I guess they notice Mozgus's corpse is keeping the handful of
keeping
people
a few
alive,
of them safe,
right?
Yeah, and that's how they figure it out.
They clue into the fire weakness. Yeah. Okay.
Then they all just have their torches.
Obviously,
that's where Guts' plan of we light fires and fight until the sun comes up happens. Yep.
We
get more chestnut Puck here, which I'm sure Ben is super happy about.
Dude, he's just cute. He's a cute little... I mean, him standing on Ishido's head, the shot of them, like, all back to back with the torches, and little chestnut Puck is on top of Ishidro going fire. Or no, wait, that's one of the demons, sorry. Okay, that's a little... I think it's a demon? It's hard to... Dude, you know, it's hard to tell. It's hard. It's really hard to tell, actually. I don't know. On page 139, it's hard to fucking tell, man. I took it as Puck because there's like a little spike coming off of the thing that's towards his head. But like,
I see
maybe it's a demon saying it.
I think it's the demon thing saying that because it's in that font. But
that's sad. That's what I just realized. But like, I wanted.
Does it make you feel any better that Puck says, "Eat flame burst, exploding fire, chestnut"?
Yes. His little attacks are like the cutest thing.
Does he have his kind of fighting game face on, and he's got his dandelion flail or whatever he's doing?
Yeah, he does have. He has the dandelion.
It's on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire.
Yeah, it's on fire. Puck notices the brand on Casca's breast as well here, and like his neck.
Right.
And Guts' neck. This is the moment I think where maybe Puck is starting to put down a little more emphasis in his mind of like, oh, she's actually probably super important to him, which makes sense now why this is happening.
Is he also the one to kind of ponder like, I wonder if this kind of is their fault? Like all these corpses.
Yeah,
it's
earlier.
It's in this area where Isidro says like, why is this all happening or whatever? And that's when like those images of like their brands are there, and Puck's just like thinking about it.
Yeah, he
trouble sure follows like, people around who have this thing.
Yeah, he like thinks about how if they didn't exist, like it would be fine, maybe that sort of deal.
Yeah.
And we get a sort of the stuff relating back to Egg Boy that Puck also voices, because like Isidro's like, what are these things? And then Puck sort of confirms that like, it's the malice of those who've died from plague and torture. It's absorbing the feelings of people it's swallowed, and it's full of their bitterness and desire for salvation, which will come to a head later with the egg.
Not even that much later. It's
not
like
even that much. It's
later.
like a few pages later. But I don't know if you guys if you want to talk about other stuff.
There's not much more to talk about. We talked about how Nina is like rolling around in her barrel and thinking that she wants to survive, and she's going to try to like honor her friend or whatever.
Yeah.
And like a whole bunch of death is happening. The big thing here, though, is that this is all coming to a head. The giant hand that we saw before actually forms in the same way that it did before, with like the souls. Like
made
the
of
wall
faces.
Of souls made of faces or whatever. And that's what you were talking about, of Puck just being like, it's like every soul or whatever, they're all crying out.
Yeah, he says that they're crying out, that they're like desiring salvation, and then he feels like everything here, like literally everything here, is crying out in desire for one thing. And that's when we see like, we get the super cool sequence of Egg Boy's face, like the Behemoths do. It's coming into the proper shape or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
It desires the same thing as I, crying out, desires me. The world I bring forth will be fulfilled by one voice, and we get that super great chapter end with like the bleeding eyes, and it's just like the smiling Egg Boy,
blood tears or whatever,
like a contented face.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And then it's just demons in the skies, just souls of the damned and whatever else. Like,
well, this is the important thing, is that we know this is the real thing now, because Guts is debilitated by the pain and is like, both him and Casca just like fall to the ground from pain from what's happening now.
The little bit of him with like lightning going through his body, just like the nerve endings or whatever, like everything's just screaming. Yeah, like they both drop.
And he knows, right? Like at this moment, like, motherfucker's here.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is here. So, or his presence is somehow felt here. And God, apparently, there was a chapter that we didn't talk about that we probably should at some time, even though I haven't read it, where it's just called God or something like that. That is actually taken out of the canon.
Canon, yes. So it's not in this like collection. That might be a thing to do, like whenever we record,
like
next,
an extra,
like
or
after
something.
this arc. Because I've never read it actually.
Wait, so if you were
wow.
like subscribing to Miura magazine or whatever in the 90s, you would have gotten that as like a normal release, and then after it was declared a cut.
It was in the
scene or something?
collections. They cut it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
The
Okay.
only thing I know about it is that like God actually is a thing.
Right.
And then after that, Miura was like, you know what? The idea of meeting like the actual supreme being
It's better ambiguous.
kind of
Yeah.
is, it kind of sullies a lot of what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
took
he's
it out.
right. He's right to do
Oh,
that.
totally.
I kind of thought there was a weird dark god in the Eclipse that you see a glimpse of.
Well,
but
Yes, and it follows that one, that end chapter end.
Oh,
is
okay,
that
okay.
one.
yeah.
Where
it's,
Griffith says, "Is this God?" and there's just like this weird writhing tentacle.
oh, okay.
mass.
So it's left like maybe Griffith is just wrong, but before it's like no, it was, and he met him, and here he is.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it
so
makes
much-
sense to cut that.
it's
That's a
so
good
much
idea.
cooler as it is. Like that panel is probably I don't know where exactly, but that spread is maybe in my top 5. Like it's just the
Okay,
perfect like
sure.
cosmic horror thing.
It's
and just,
very
like-
good cosmic horror. Yes.
And just Griffith going God. And then that's all you get. That's all you get, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah, at some point we should read that one probably. And
Totally.
just talk about
Yeah.
maybe as an extra, like at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little mini-sode.
But
Just 'cause I'm
scans are
interested.
out there. People
Oh,
preserved it.
I'm sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then we get that, you know, the baby is growing, the hair is flowing.
Yeah, and he doesn't look all malformed anymore. He's like a little bundle of wonder in there. I don't know, but yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's daybreak.
Yay!
Yeah, that means everything's okay, right? The day has come.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get this little bit of like stuff is the egg is cracking. We see Griffith's blood is spurting out of everything, that all the faces that are making up the hand. Shit's crumbling, and then it's dawn, and like everybody's alive. Well, I mean like our cast
Our
of
cast
characters,
is alive.
our
Yeah.
few people, including Nina.
Yay!
And, dude, I love Lusa's reveal.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
down here, hurry! I'm freezing my ass off, like in the well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no,
good.
it's really good. This is the great moment in the movie where like everybody's coming back together and you feel good seeing their faces still
Yeah.
there. Well, Ina should have died, but I mean,
But lesson learned, you know, she's gonna turn a page and
I almost wonder if Lusa and Nina cannot die if they, unless like one of the other one does. Like they're the yin yang of
something. I sort of feel like someone who hates these characters would just call it plot armor or something, but it's like, no, there's a reason. There's like
Causality.
moral lessons here. Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
we call it around here. It's causality.
yeah,
So
that's right.
you have to exist because we got
Yeah.
more stories to tell.
So
Yeah.
everybody's you know, uniting, and then boom, baby, Sean.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're going in for the kind of weekend kill here. you know. Oh, he's
Quote unquote weekend as Guts kills just like a platoon of them.
I know, but
just
it's
body
such a
parts
rough
fly.
time. I think Isidro and Puck or something are calling it of like, what? You're going to attack us now after everything we've been through? But
Isidro
yeah.
hits a dude in the skull with a brick.
Yeah. Isidro is a straight up murderer. For
Oh, he
real.
also broke a rock over Mozgus's head earlier, but it didn't do anything. So it was
yeah.
hard to really.
It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's just so fucking funny how like differently it hits when you see like people getting cut in half, legs getting cut off by guts, and then like the panel of a dude getting bricked in the side of the noggin. Like, ooh, that's rough.
Like, I've seen all this other stuff before, but blunt force crunching, that's different. Yeah.
Maybe it was just me, but like, were you guys kind of like excited to see like a force that they could actually fight against though? It's like, oh, thank God it's just an army.
Oh, it's just people and elephants or whatever, but they can deal with that. Maybe, but at the same time, like earlier, Guts was successfully arrested by like a bunch of trust fund kids because he was weakened.
He was hurt.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is a terribly opportunistic time to attack these people.
Right.
But yeah. This is when Azan steps in, and I was really happy to see him.
This reveal is so good. Yeah.
Like, he's ready for some more
women.
battling. And I was like, what? Oh, good. I thought he might be dead, but they would have showed it, I guess. But still. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he sees...
It's great.
I like how I just love the chivalry shit. It's such a good thing. It's like why I like some of Conan Doyle's like night novels, because it's just like heavily romanticized, like chivalrous whatever. I love how he sees like Guts and he's like, okay, well, this was an enemy, but like clearly he's on my side, so like I'll roll with that. He doesn't try to fight it. He's just like, he's logical. There's a bigger issue at hand, and we're gonna focus on that instead of doing like dumb shit. I don't know.
I mean, the stupidest thing he does is says, "What are you doing on our holy ground?" And at that point, I'm just like, "Fucking give it up, idiot!" Jesus fuck, who cares?
It takes a while to deprogram, you know.
Yeah.
We've seen God. He's cut out of the canon.
Though. He just saw the Lake of Red or whatever. So
I mean,
yeah.
And then, you know, that Zod though.
Yeah, everything's broken up by Zod just breaking through a wall.
Just going full Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah. My favorite part of all of this is that when Zod breaks through, there's this like, Guts looks like excited to see him. He's like, Zod! Like he's a good guy or something.
Yeah.
I remember this guy, a familiar face.
Thank God. Well, then we get the Skull Knight just fucking pointing. It's so good.
Yeah, and that's when you know, like, oh, the thing that happened, we're about to see it. And of course, that's where the chapter ends or whatever, the book ends. Not the book. They call it episodes.
Episode,
Episode is weird to say to me for manga, but whatever.
That
when in Rome,
page,
right?
The full page of Guts' face.
Yeah, the full page of Guts' face is pretty good. Then followed up by just feathers and birds, and you're just like, oh shit.
And then hair, and then chiseled abs and muscular arms.
All right, so here's the thing. Fuck Griffith. He needs to die in the worst possible. He needs to be flayed. Like,
but who is this? Is this just
this is Griffith?
I know, but like,
I have a whole arc you should read.
No, but Femto existed, and you know, like, I wasn't really sure what was happening. Like, is this like another half of himself or something, or?
Well,
rebirth, okay, you know?
Yeah, this might be just like meta knowledge or something. I'm assuming that he was
transferred his demonness.
Well, his thing is he always wanted to like have his perfect kingdom or whatever, right? This is the part that like the demons are giving him to do that. Is the rebirth.
I don't know.
That's what I assume.
I guess I was just like, now I'm trying to think through it. Like, Griffith's original body had been like damaged and destroyed. Maybe he wanted to be reborn as much as he could, as opposed to just being a broken Femto. Like, could he have been a damaged God Hand member, or did he need to do this? You know, I was confused.
Yeah.
The thing, and I haven't read Millennium Hawk or whatever, so I don't know what's up.
So this is where like you and I can speculate, and Ben can't really because he knows.
He knows what's up with this.
I'll speculate too, guys.
Yeah, but like the speculation I have here, I guess like he's obviously going to be like more normal, but I mean, of course, because he's not femto weird version of him anymore.
Yeah.
But I still think he's going to be like super demonic form, strength, and like he's not going to be like Guts can win a sword fight against him easily anymore.
I guess so, except there was that kind of like the glowing hawk seems to be a positive image as opposed to like a dark hawk or something. Like I just don't know what to read with this. And everyone's kind of awestruck by it. Like there's that kind of 2-page thing that was hard to read on 2 pages because it actually reads up and down or whatever, but it's like,
yeah,
and everyone couldn't even breathe.
At that moment, all who were there forgot to breathe and were enthralled is the words
it's like,
that they use.
And all pan over, pan back, pan over, because iPad.
Sure.
Yeah. But yes, it's just, is this an evil event or is this fine? But I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, the Jedi are evil, so I think it's all just...
Exactly. Yeah. And some of those God Hand guys just look fun, like Cenobite, so... I don't know.
Slan specifically, yeah. Probably my favorite. Yeah, no, this definitely is one of those, like...
And sorry, this is also... Happy? That moment I was talking about where, like, Guts is starting to go berserk, like he's going to attack it, and then stops doing that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Which is weird because that's like the whole thing he was sort of jonesing for was to fight Griffith for real in this Echo event or whatever. But then when presented with that moment, Casca kind of maybe talks him down or something.
So this is what, when you were saying is the conviction that he's not going to like hurt her or like he's going to
leave
like,
her, right?
Leave her, right? This is, I think, that moment where his character changed.
Okay.
It's not fully like, revenge anymore.
Like that thing Godo talked about and like how valuable she should be and everything. He remembered that.
We're going to fight. We're going to fight this fucker. Don't you worry about that. But right now, we got to get her.
But you fought and survived that horrible night to save her, and you did. So just stop for a minute kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, I think she is a reminder of that. What you were saying before.
Yeah, the 2-page spread of him like internally going full Burke, and then like the lightness comes, and even though I still just hate that it's like
yeah.
Well, so here I read it differently. I didn't read it so much as like somebody with a mental like handicap trying to speak, as I was before. This seems more like she's trying to say like like stop him sort of thing, and that's the realization moment. I didn't read it as like she's like mentally deficient. It's that she's trying to reach out to him.
I've honestly been reading it more like breathing, like very audible breathing. Like I don't know that's I doubt
more
that's
of a
what it's
sigh
supposed to
or
be,
something,
but like,
or
yeah, just like someone who's like constantly in a state of like shock or something, you know, just like trying to deal like just like right after something happened, but like it's prolonged, I guess.
Forever.
I don't know.
But wouldn't that be in the katakana like all the other?
I don't. That's like it's.
Plus,
that's just what my head went
is.
to.
She just seems kind of in a goofy state sometimes, in like a fun way. Like when she was nibbling on Gray Rat's hat or whatever. That was like
she's not here though.
Yeah. It's a lot like that Twin Peaks thing. That's what I keep thinking about. But yeah. So Lynch stole it. I'll say it. But yeah.
There's definitely a realization panel of like Guts just being like, oh shit, right. Like the thing I fought so hard for, am I going to throw that away now sort of thing? Like I got to stop.
Yeah.
And it's probably for a good thing because Zod just wrecks.
Exactly. Like it's also just like, I don't think I can take on Zod right now. Like I would hope is also.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't know that like the Guts I'm sure Guts is going to go through more like upgrading and power level,
like the Trials of Hercules or whatever.
I don't think Guts can fight is even close as he is right now. Like
1v1
I think he will get killed. Yeah. I don't think he's even close.
Zod only has one horn now though, so
he's also immortal.
He could go for the right side or whatever, the left side of his head. It's a big opening. But yeah, okay.
Yeah,
no, I don't think he could.
The other thing that, I mean, so Guts is like choosing Casca in this moment.
I think so, yeah.
And then that gets like immediately validated by the entire Kashan army showing up.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get the fuck out of here. This is like too much.
And I finally took note of that lead guy's name. It's like Master Salat or whatever. Like it's the guy we'd seen before. Yeah.
You're right. That's what they call him. That's true.
Yeah. I missed that before. Okay. So yeah, Kushan army's there they're awestruck too though, right? Like they're not pulling shit after this.
Well, they have elephants, so that's
They
cool.
do have battle elephants. Yeah. Oliphants maybe.
Olifants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lady Farnese quits her job, which I thought was cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
She decides to follow the Black Swordsman instead.
Yeah.
And I think Azan is perplexed, but maybe is he going with her or what's Serpico's decision? Actually, I guess we'll find out. But
yeah, I'm trying. Okay. Griffith rides off on Zod.
Yeah,
that's right. It's an
just
important thing to say. Yeah.
That's pretty great panel, honestly.
God, this is
like, what? Yeah.
This is straight, like this pose and shape, like maybe more so than ever is out of that thing at like the boarding school, the Kazatsuki no Uta thing. Like this, he's identical to the character in that Griffith is like partially based on. It's kind of wild.
Sure. Yeah. I just love this scene, right? There was the fight going on. Zod's just destroying people that are being thrown there, and they make the decision like this is a good time while everybody's distracted to leave or whatever, right? So we get the shitter group just going down the like side or whatever, just kind of hiding away, and they're the ones that see the army coming. And the thing I like is that from their point of view, they see Griffith ride off on this, or I guess they don't know who he is. They see
this mysterious like platinum person,
like angel man, ride off on this winged demon or whatever into the sky, and then you see Guts flying by on a horse, cutting people in half. The army is just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, just like I want a normal day, guys.
Oh, it's such.
Where are we?
It feels so good though. The panel, or I guess it's a 2-page spread of him just cutting through dudes in the way, and like he's holding like Casca close to him while he's like killing dudes. It's like, oh, that feels good to see. It's been so long. But yes, they decide to follow the Black Swordsman. I don't know why you would do that if you survived through this, but
no, because he's real, man. Like, like kind of what we were talking about with that fire moment or whatever, where it's like if your hands are closed, you're not doing anything. I think that
I get
struck
it for her.
deep. Yeah.
I don't get it for anybody else.
Well, they all survived because of him in a way. I don't know. Yeah, it's a striking moment. It's a turning point. Yeah.
You know what the striking moment here is? When Isidro is following after Guts and Casca and like leaving the group or whatever. The group of like Nina and Jerome and everybody else and Lusa.
Yeah.
And one of the girls is like, you could have one on the house as thanks. Like a fucking one of the prostitutes.
Yeah.
Like, you could have one on the house. And then he's like slouching over, and it's like the boy with a slouch in his stride. He's trying to hide his boner.
Yeah, boner follow up.
It's so good. Oh man. And then Lusa is just like, now those were some restless people.
And I'm not even a main character or whatever. Like, that's when she says that. And then Nina just leaves again, doesn't say goodbye to Lusa. And I don't know why Joachim's just like, I did really like you, actually. Like, it's cool. You tried to murder me in the cult and everything, but we should be together. I don't know.
When you're a beta, You take whatever you can.
I don't know. Yeah, no, but it's a bit like she can, like I was saying before, she can kind of bully him around a little bit. And like they're both cowards or something. I don't know. It was something.
Their whole thing is that like you resent, or somebody that is stronger than you like can hurt you, and you can resent them or whatever. You could hate someone because they're weaker than you, but we're both shitty. So we belong.
So maybe
together.
if we're together, we'll be a little less shitty or something. Like we'll become a little bit kinder over the course of our lives or something. Like it was sort of sweet, but I don't know. It was something. Yeah. So that love story is going on. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, despite everything.
And in answer to your, I forget who asked, like, what's his name again? Scorpio? Is that how it's pronounced?
Serpico, yeah.
Serpico.
The hero cop.
His response to like Farnese saying, "I'm done with the knights. I'm going to follow the Black Swordsman," and she just waves, like just doesn't say anything, just waves goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Huh.
Like just follows her.
Yeah, I think he said before his vow is with her, not the order or whatever. Okay. So that makes sense that he would follow her.
And we see that Farnese is, she's getting her arc or whatever, like kind of ditching the religion, but she still has a way to go because she's immediately like, maybe he is my prophet, my saint.
Right. She still needs like something to.
She's still gonna be weird about it. Yeah, but
but it's like a step.
At least it's more concrete.
And it's kind of cool too, because the way like her whole thing there ends is just like he's the only one that like would actually stand in the darkness against it or whatever. It's like maybe he is like the actual one. I mean, probably in this world, probably as close as you're gonna get to like an actual prophet,
an actual savior of some kind,
of some sort. Yeah.
And then, I mean, we get the bullshit with Nina, but like the cool thing is Skull Knight standing on that fucking cliff. It's that day, starting with the fissure opening on the frontier, the shape of the world began to crumble.
Like, where that ends, that arc.
Well, except so cool. I'm gonna like rescind something earlier. I was saying I didn't quite believe Jerome would make good on him marrying Lusa. I think they have a chance now. After that night, that's gonna forge a bond strong enough.
Yeah, trauma bonds like legitimately are super strong. So
I hope that works out for those two. That's the couple I like smile at with no confusion, as opposed to the Nina Chwakam situation, which is the real story here. I think anyway. Sorry. I just really got caught up in that side story. I'm not sure why.
Dude.
Yeah,
I really do.
Okay.
Yeah. What are some overall thoughts on this whole arc? I guess we don't have to like belabor any points because
got those bone wheels. That's a huge thing for.
This is the most Dark Souls. We've got.
Yeah.
100%.
I liked Mozgus's setup more than the finale. Sort of like Metal Gear Solid 4. You got your Ocelot and then the Slugfest. It's just not really deserving,
It's funny how he was kind of created to like... It's almost like he was created to be a boss in a video game at some point. Because he really feels like one.
Yeah. Torturers kind of got a nice like justification for their situation. Oh yeah, the egg guy kind of envies them at some point. He's sort of like, I wonder if I would have been like that if I was
if I was found, would I have been brought in, sort of thing. Yeah.
But that never happened to me, so this is what happens instead. In its own weird twisted way, it's like, oh, Mozgus helped those people, but turn them into torturers. So yeah.
My take on this arc is, I mean, I guess it's the whole like conviction arc, starting with like the lost children stuff and kind of the continuation of like Black Swordsman stuff, everything after Golden Age essentially. Like we've been in a transitional period between the Golden Age, which I really like, and like the demon shit that I really
like. The next big event.
We're getting into like just not like immediately. I think maybe it's immediate. I can't remember the timeline, but like the shit that I really, really like as far as like setting and plot and stuff goes. Like
people say Hawk of the Millennium is the best stuff in there.
Yeah,
so.
it's where stuff like, especially like some of the art, like it just gets even more so. Like there's already insane stuff and like crazy details, and like it just gets driven to 11 for some stuff, and it's insane. So,
sure.
This arc is fine. It's not like I dislike it, but it's just one of those like I've been waiting to get to the next part like since we started.
Well, it kind of echoes the Eclipse in the story. Even it's kind of weird. It's just like, all right, so this is like a less insane version of an insane thing we saw happen, you know?
Yeah.
But and then it like the addition of Isidro and kind of lighter characters being more present took some adjusting, but I think I eventually started liking it. But it's a weird fit of like dark material, but then goofball Puck and Isidro Kraken wise like Dropey or whatever that nickname was that we didn't talk about.
I was wondering how they were gonna kind of fill the Band of the Hawk things with like new characters, and I thought they did a surprisingly good job of giving me characters that weren't exactly just on his side right away, but like they became a crew by the end. I thought it was
some of the Holy See people actually like became good characters. Like I was just like, oh, there's just gonna be these sanctimonious like idiots, but it's like no, Serpico and Azan, and like to some extent Farnese with her weird kinks. Like I don't know.
She's a super interesting character that I don't think we've really seen.
Well, she's going to be following along, apparently, so I guess we'll get more of her. But yeah, it's, planting seeds for the future that are interesting, so yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. All right. Well, that'll do it for the Conviction arc. That's a wrap. I guess next time we talk, it's going to be, what's the next one called? I hate that the wiki says Millennium Falcon.
The Hawk of the
Falcon. Millennium.
Yeah. Mira got way into Star Wars and just started doing like fanficky stuff. So it's kind of weird, but now I have no idea. Yeah. Millennium Hawk makes way more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Band of the Falcon.
I'm wondering if their interpretation is more I think literal words.
From what I remember, he actually called it Millennium Falcon because he liked the bit. Like it's just he saw an opportunity and he took it.
Okay.
From what I recall.
In that case, that's what I am also going to call it. If that's
all right.
Millennium Falcon.
Anyways, we're going to be talking the beginning, I guess, of the Holy Evil War chapter is what they call it here, which is
Holy
hilarious.
Evil. All right.
Yeah. And I mean, we already made a bunch of predictions or whatever. I just want to see what power level Griffith is at. And I think more than anything, I want to see Guts.
Well, because he's like a baby. Form. Can he even fight with the sword anymore? Like, I don't know.
He needed Zod to take him away in his little baby carrier.
Yeah, he can't fly. He was a hawk person. I don't know. So, a lot of questions to be answered. Don't email spoilers to I'veGoneBerserk@gmail.com. See, I'm trying to like trick people into emailing, but
yeah, do not do that.
It'll be
Instead,
solid spoilers, just all.
It's gonna be solid spoilers. Yeah.
When was the last time you went berserk? I'veGoneBerserk@gmail.com. Write it.
That's a great question.
Anyway. When's the last time you've gone berserk? I could tell you when. It was about 12 hours ago.
Whoa.
Yeah. They threw out the last of the coffee in the break room, so I just picked up my stapler and started smacking people as hard as I could everywhere.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. But seriously, I hate everybody I work with. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.